Hello and welcome all. This is Dice of Ages presenting CrestVahllen, The Baker's Dozen, episode 27, Sunken Secrets. Without further ado, let's get into the recap of the previous episode. As Machete probes closer to the large underwater city, she ponders the presence of the eldritch iconography and her mind harkens back to what Carver had mentioned some time ago. Eventually returning to a scoop and the Kuatoa guard, she witnesses them chew the fat, unable to agree upon what to do next. Back through the portal and in the cenote, Tamara, Nakano, and Hurt grow concerned about the fate of their companions, but are also uncertain upon a prudent course of action. Meanwhile, the wet part of the gang learns of the Kuatoa's misdeeds, breaking a large eldritch statue, and recruit him to the party. The fishy dude named Blubglub suggests that they enter the city via Shoal's Wharf, before Machete and him return to the cenote to retrieve the rest of the group. Nakano and Tamarin learn what has happened on the other side before delving through the curtain of water tethered to one another. Unfortunately, Hurt is thrown off course by the current, fading into the blackened abyss, pursued by Tamarin. A large tentacle reaches out from the endless water, latching onto Tamarin, pulling him further into the dark. Panicking, Tamarin and Hurt try to break free, eventually succeeding in swimming like hell back to the coral mushroom forest and their companions. The band decide to disguise themselves to keep from arousing suspicion while within the city inside the caldera. After a failed attempt to reach the border of the city, realizing that they have not enough air, they return to the rim and harvest an air plant from the sediment. An indirect and odd conversation with the plant lead to Tamarin feeding it his and Blubglub's poop to keep it happy and healthy. The party tried to swim to the city again, successfully dodging the patrols and passing through the city's veil near the wharf, entering a highly humid but breathable atmosphere. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen.
Wonderful.
Sean is smacking his belly button.
No video, I can do what I want.
Welcome back, everybody. Last we left off, y'all were just made it into the city. Yes, let me turn that off.
We're good.
Y'all just made it into the city, and that is a blueberry. What?
You ate it from the foot?
Yeah, I mean it fell on my foot. And then I ate
Okay.
Come on, guys. What are we? It's 2022. Come on.
What does that have to do with eating off of the floor?
Are your floors
I feel like
clean?
that makes it worse this beginning of the year.
Enough to eat off of.
Okay, so anyway, my floor blueberry was delicious.
That's good.
We're gonna move on. You guys just made it into the city. You guys can breathe this dank, heavy, thick double C air. Almost like the creatures here can breathe it, whether they be aquatic or terrestrial. And you guys make it through. You guys, the scene before you is hustle and bustle of quite a few of many people moving in, trying to get shipments onto ships or off of ships. There's a market, there's a bazaar not too far from the pier, past the veil of this bubble that you've gone through. We'll change the music here. You guys are lucky because with your stealth rolls and all that other jazz, you are able to pretty much meld and into the crowd and kind of blend in and just there is one or two moments where Machete gets some very odd looks, and there's a young shark humanoid and an older like hammerhead humanoid, and they're like, "Don't look, Billy," and they like turn.
Is that in common?
That one was in common, yes.
Okay.
Great, I'm able to understand my pity.
Understand my pity.
know. What's the cool place? How do we? What's you know, like Blub Grub.
Oh, you mean where do you want to go get a drink? You guys want to go get a drink? You want to get a drink? You want to hang out?
I want a drink.
Sure.
You want a drink?
Sure, we can get a drink.
Is this place?
One quick, a quick drink, but
I mean, I got what else? I mean, I just quit my job, so what do you guys?
But you got a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
makes
sure.
sense, I guess.
How much are we getting paid? How many shells?
How many shells?
Yeah.
There's different currency for landers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you then?
What do you get for one shell?
2 drinks.
That's not bad.
so
What if you only want to buy one drink? You have to cut the shell in half?
Oh, then you use $10.
that seems.
Is that,
1 shell
A
is
dollar.
$2
is $1 $1 a dollar?
What's a dollar?
I don't. What is $1?
Yeah.
It's like a sand dollar.
Well,
mean like
a sand dollar is
silver?
a sand dollar.
Where
yes.
does the word dollar come from then in the sand dollar?
I don't know, man. I don't make up these words. Just sort of some old archaic stuff we don't use anymore.
So maybe.
What? So you get paid 2 shells?
For shift? No fucking way. I'm lucky if I get paid 2 shells a month.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So you can only get.
How do you feed yourself?
Yeah.
So you're
I
broke.
go hunting.
But you said the mistress provides food for you.
Yeah, she brings in the bait balls.
The bait balls.
The bait balls. You know, all of the fish that come by the city, so we can hunt them.
Oh, okay.
She summons them yonder. What does he do?
Ramsey. Oh, he's got his toys. He's got toys.
okay.
Sorry, Ramsey. Carry on.
Okay.
Well, we'll pay you where you can buy your own food, and not have to hunt, at least.
Oh, cool. How many shells?
We don't do shells like I said.
Okay, so then how am I gonna?
We'll give you our currency.
And how is that gonna help me at all?
What do you mean?
How am I gonna use that?
How can you be part of our party if you're not with us?
No. How am I gonna use the money that you pay me if it doesn't work as money here?
Well, if you want to come with us, I thought we were.
Sure, but
This is
we're here now.
Oh,
He's coming with us.
and we gotta buy beer or something. So we don't have actual currency here.
How many shells do you have on you right now?
Me? 1 shell, a handful of sand dollars.
Can we just go look for shells on the ground? Where shells are?
Shit. I mean, you want to be part of the scroungers that search the caldera and the dangers of it, looking for shells, of which hundreds of years of people have already kind of pretty much swept it pretty clean.
What's dangerous about the caldera? I mean, it seems fine.
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, the people that are super, super poor live in the slums just because they want to.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it looks fine. What's wrong with that area?
Well, so the city is built on these pillars, right? These very, very old pillars that kind of lift it up over the caldera. And then in the center of the caldera, there's this big hole that goes down to who the fuck knows where. And every once in a while, not very often, people just disappear around there. And yeah, it's pretty spoopy. And so, you know, out of sight, out of mind, I guess, is a kind of a.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So I don't want to go anywhere near that because I don't want to be just a footnote in your story. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
So I guess we can't really afford drinks.
What do you have?
We have our
Regular
currency.
money.
What's your currency?
Silver.
Copper, gold.
Copper, gold, metals.
Metals.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. I'm sure you could probably exchange them for something. They're still precious metals.
How much is a metal worth?
I don't know. You'll have to ask a money changer.
Is there like a MoneyGram around here or something?
Maybe. Probably want to ask one of the sea elves.
Okay.
They sometimes cavort with the landers.
Can I try to, with Druidcraft, make the shell, like, do the butt or, like, the sand dollar, like, butt off or something? Like, try to, like, basically
Trying to
make
help
money.
coral grow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here's what I'll say. I'm gonna go. Why don't you go ahead and roll your spell casting ability check,
Okay.
like a wisdom check.
Yeah.
Money does grow.
16?
16. You produce what I would say 8 sand dollars.
Whoa.
Would this be enough?
Like you grab a piece of coral that you've had with you, and you just kind of like will it to grow sand dollars, and plink, 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 plink.
That's sick.
Did you just grow money?
I told you it would cool, right?
That's. We should fuck going anywhere else. We should stay here. Are you kidding me? We could be rich. We could be rich.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Campaign over.
We will
I mean,
be
it is-
hunted. The economy will be destroyed.
yeah.
Who cares? I'll be the king of it.
Yeah.
Or Yen Queen,
I will
if
say
you'll
that.
have me.
I will say that. There were-
And you do
That's
kinda
coming
look
through
like
me too.
You
Yeah.
look kind of like a drowned seal, so maybe just, I don't know. Do something.
Zhuzh it up a bit, you mean?
I don't
Like,
know.
you know,
Maybe
do
it's-
something?
We'll put a paper bag on you or something. I don't know.
Whoa.
We'll put a kelp bag on. We'll figure it out. Maybe we just won't put you in public.
Dude.
This is me. This is him, not me.
He's not a nice person.
I know. I just look at him and I give him the finger, the middle finger.
What's that mean?
It means fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh, that's not very nice. I thought we were partners.
We are, but you're telling me I need to put the bag over my face, so you know. Let's...
Have you seen yourself?
I understand down here.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll figure it out. You know, a lot of ugly people go pretty far if they have money.
Oh my god, dude.
So much for the nice translation.
Angela's looking at me like she hates me. This isn't TJ. This is this guy. This guy
I know,
sucks.
I know. Don't worry, I'm a doctor, so I can give myself plastic surgery if I really need to. And I just turn away and I walk to a whiteboard.
Okay, drinks then, yeah? Now that we've got money bags over here.
Yeah.
Great, so you guys, he leads you to what looks like a old hollowed out clamshell. Like a massive, giant hollowed out clamshell that has, it's got a hole carved into one side, and it says the salty brine on it, and you walk in and you hear like and a bunch of cool music happening, and what seems like these it's very under the sea style music instruments. You see some what looks like sea cucumbers that are being used as cowbells, like hollowed out, like petrified sea cucumber husks being used as cowbells and stuff like that. You walk in and there's music happening. People are drinking. It's weird because people aren't drinking out of cups. What's happening is that the people walk up to the bar and they grab what looks like these like puffer fish or some sort of like inflated fish or mollusks or something like that, and they just like put them near their gills and then just squeeze it into their gills and then just like inhale the water that is diluted of the because it's you're still in the air, right? Mm-hmm. But they're breathing it in rather than like drinking anything,
Right.
because they deal with liquid differently. So it gets into their bloodstream faster that way than if they're drinking.
So I'm assuming it doesn't taste very good.
Do you want to buy some of these sponges? Yeah, they're like sea sponges.
I see.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys go up. You pull out some sand dollars. You get some sea sponges. There are these like purple, kind of hot pink mixtures. You thrown on this like coral barnacle. What looks like inside this clam tavern. The bar is made out of what looks like an old piece of a sunken ship. Some of the wood that used from that, and it's got barnacles and all this other gnarly algae and shit all over it. Yeah. Who has a sea sponge? Drink. Okay. Tamron, Macheni, and a Scoop grab one. Blub grabs one. You see Hurt walk up to the bar and raise her finger.
No, it's.
To drink?
What is it? It's not alcohol, right?
I think it is, right?
I think it is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, blood grub, is it alcohol?
It makes you feel good. Makes you forget things that you'd like to forget.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'll still do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay, you try it. How would you like to ingest this thing?
Sucking on that sponge.
Okay, you suck.
Oh, you're gonna just.
It tastes kind of sweet.
Oh, I want to do it with my gills.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes, if you taste it with your tongue and you put it through your mouth, it tastes kind of sweet, but it also tastes kind of like inky and bittery at the same time. You drink it. I'll need everybody who had some to roll Constitution saving throw for me real quick.
Dirty 20.
30, 20. Okay.
16.
16. Machete?
I ended up once hearing that was what it did. I said, nah.
Okay, cool. Blub has some. Who got below 15? Nobody? Okay. It feels kind of, you feel kind of like just fuzzy. Like a little light and fuzzy. It feels more like a substance than it does an alcohol.
Oh. Okay.
As far as what you're getting from it.
I see. It's like kind of like more like a drug.
Yeah. But it's like the closest thing they have to alcohol. You know?
I see.
It's like how dolphins pass around the blowfish to get
Oh,
high,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know? It's kinda
Nice.
what's going on. In fact, you actually see a table of shark and dolphin kin in the corner, like passing around a blowfish that's just going, please, my family.
Oh my god, this is fucked up. I thought it was a sponge. It's a blowfish.
No,
No,
one-
the different.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Different
happening.
table.
different thing happening, and they're not hurting it. They're just really like, and they're just
Yeah,
leaning back with their
man.
eyes half open, just kind of smiling.
I'm curious to know what would happen if I had failed, but
Would you
we,
like to take
we have a
another
job.
sip?
We have a job to do.
Would you like to take another sip?
No.
Would my con save be higher
What do you mean?
since I took it through the gills?
Hmm.
You said it's stronger.
In fact, it would make it to get through your bloodstream faster because it's going through your respiratory system rather than through your digestive tract.
Right. You're gonna have a nice long buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Would
You want me to
take
do it
another
again?
Sip?
Can you just ask Blub what happens if you drink too much of this?
You said you'll forget.
No, I think it's probably good to have my wits about me here.
Yeah.
You want me to drink it? I want to drink it.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Let's do
That's
it.
Want to
you.
do it again? Go ahead and roll another Constitution saving throw.
I failed. 15.
15. Okay, 15 is exactly a fail. Your vision starts to like blur, but then like refocus itself, and then become fuzzy around the edges. It's kind of similar to like shrooms hallucinogens, but a little more refined than that. As you start to see Tamron grow 3 eyes, you start to forget the fact that you were once a land breather, and that the past doesn't really mean a whole lot to you, just like the current and the present, what's going on right now. You look at Blub and you're like, this guy.
This guy.
This guy.
I know this guy.
You look at Nakano and you're like, ooh, scary crab lady. When you look at Nakano now, all you see is a very large crab. Fully very large crab.
Snip.
Yeah, you see a very large crab. You look at Machete and you just feel, you're not sure why. You can't really, it's like those AI images where you can't quite figure out what your
is.
brain can't
Yeah.
figure out what type of thing. You can't name what it is you're actually looking at. But you just feel an innate sense of pity.
Question: how does this affect? Because you're concentrating on a spell. Would concentration be affected by this?
I would say with how long you've been a cleric and how well ingrained this is more of like a backseat burner brain thing that you just automatically do.
I would say if it was like a level 4 spell, it'd probably be a roll, but since it's a level 2.
Well, I think not even that. I just think you're subconsciously concentrating on this, and it doesn't really require.
Okay.
You're just subconsciously concentrating on it. It's like it's a part of your brain that's already been partitioned to take care of that, and you've kind of separated it as part of different.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
And that's because you knew going into this you would have to do this, so you kind of prepped yourself for that eventuality. Cool. Some of you are inebriated.
Yay.
And Bloodlove's like, you want another round? We're just getting hammered here? Is that what's going on? Yeah. I mean, like, what else do you guys do? What's on the docket?
Well, I mean,
Pun intended.
I mean, I wouldn't mind learning a little bit more about what's going on with, how do we get into being with the mistress and...
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you there. You want to see the mistress?
She wants to know more.
I just want to know more. Are there pamphlets or, is there a
what kind of high
library?
should be?
You want to go to the temple?
Yeah, either the temple or the library, I think. I want to do a little research.
I don't know about library, but there's a temple. You're looking for records, archives.
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
yeah, more
The temple
historical.
has archives.
Okay.
They have, but they're only available to those that serve her and in a more official capacity. But they're very open to people asking questions and that whole thing. If you're into that, all are welcome. They are also the only people that have the power to just straight up disappear you. So that's good to know.
Mm-hmm. So be polite, okay?
Yeah, be polite.
All right.
Indeed.
Yeah, I was doing that.
And don't ask too many questions about the sleeping people that just get brought in every once in a while.
The sleeping people?
Yeah, the sleepy people. They're just sleepy. They need to be. They're cured by, and they receive the blessing, and then they come out looking much better.
Okay.
This conversation's way too tamed for me being high or on shrooms.
Okay.
You just see another head grow out of Bloodglove's neck, and just hey, kid.
I'm the one translating, so.
Yeah. So you hear this, and you're translating automatically, and you just hear this other head talking. Hey, kid.
What's up?
Don't they look delicious? You ever had fish head stew before?
No.
You should rip me off and taste me.
Oh no.
This is
The Scoop just straight up stops translating for a moment and just stares at
You
Bloodglove.
okay?
Huh?
You okay?
Who are you talking to?
The second head.
There's not a second head.
Yeah, there is. Right there. He's telling me to eat him.
Oh. Don't listen to that.
No,
Head.
that head's a bad head.
Listen to it. Hurt. I'm hurt now. You should listen to it. Do it.
What does heart look like?
Her eyes are 3 times the size of what her eyes usually are. So she's got these huge eyes with this big mouth that looks almost like a stingray mouth, but straight on rather than under. And she's like, listen to it. With a bunch of needle-like teeth. She looks like those needle shark mouths, but really, really wide.
God. Should I?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that. You're making me uncomfortable.
Aren't you high as well?
I'm got a nice little buzz going on. I'm good. I'm good.
I think I had too much.
Riding that. Oh, you had too much? You should probably put your head in the barrel then.
What barrel?
You put the barrel of salt, the seawater, barrel of seawater. You know, it helps dilute the
Oh.
Oh. All
you know,
right.
you just put your head in there, and breathe in for a little bit,
Okay.
because you can breathe water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go ahead. Relax. Stop looking at me like that. You're freaking me out.
You should be freaked out.
Okay?
Thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
Your second head was weird.
Like, what?
He's seeing things.
What?
He's seeing things. He's.
Right, we can't talk to
Oh.
him directly.
Oh right.
Robert
I dipped my head in.
You did your head in. This water has been used a few too many times.
That's nice.
There's like things floating in it and that you don't know what they are. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
19.
19. Okay, you're okay.
I'm still okay.
You get like a piece of, you don't know what, some sort of food material stuck in your gills that you're like, oh, what's that? And you have to pull it out. It's like this. It's like reaching into the sink and grabbing that soggy food, and you're like, ugh.
Oh, great. Right after we ate, too.
And you pull it out of your gill and like throw it out of the barrel, and you continue breathing. It's like, it's nasty. It's like called cloudy and stuff. But eventually you take a couple minutes and you breathe, and you start to that whole like hallucinogenic feeling starts to die down.
Well, don't do that again.
Yeah. I'll speak in common and just in a whisper, but like to you guys. What I was just thinking, go find out more information about the statues. I'm usually pretty good with finding information, but what about you? What do you guys want to do?
You can do that
That's-
too.
I think temple's probably a good idea.
Okay. All right.
So what's the plan? You okay?
You alright?
What? Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah?
A little hot in here.
Yeah.
Talking to a scoop. We're talking to a scoop.
Oh,
So what's the plan? Are you okay?
I mean, it's your place. You know where to go.
Yeah, but I mean, you hired me, right? By the way, how much are you getting paid?
Here we go. I just-
Ooh, $1.
Fan.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for next week.
Alright, I plan we go to the temple, which I know we have to be polite.
Oh, yeah, the temple.
Yeah.
I guess we go to the temple.
Can you show us the way?
Sure. We can go to the temple. So, like I said before, as you guys start walking out of the salt and brine, I did a bad thing that the temple's mad about. So probably not a good idea for me to be with you in the temple. But I want to hang because if I'm away from you, you said you were going to protect me. So how are we gonna do this? How are you
Why
gonna
don't you just like lay low for a little while?
go hide?
Could you like pray outside the temple steps and it's like you're showing penance, but we're still inside or not too far?
I mean, maybe. You guys are the one that's good at this. What? Yeah, but they're gonna kill me if I walk in.
yeah, don't go in there.
Okay, so if I'm outside and they spot me, they might drag me in and kill me.
Why don't you just stay here?
Yeah.
Oh, and continue drinking?
Yeah.
You gonna pay me to drink?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sure. When will you be back?
Soon.
Can one of you stay with me so that I don't get killed?
No.
Roll persuasion check. No.
No, you're not persuasive.
13.
13. See, so I was already understand. I was under the impression that when you know I quit my job, you were going to like protect me from the people that were going to kill me.
Yes.
Why would they kill you right away,
They're
though?
not gonna kill you here.
I mean, I'm already on thin ice. Why wouldn't they?
Is it that bad here?
You've been on thin ice for
It's
17
pretty
years.
great. Pretty great.
But you've been on thin ice for 17 years.
No. That thing happened a little more recently.
But you said you were in that position for 17 years.
Yeah, no, it's the lowest position. I just never went up.
Alright, is there another bar near there or some other place that you can like just hang out?
I can
and-
drink with the homeless people.
There you go. That sounds fun.
Yeah, you know what? Give me some of that kelp. Okay, you seem rather attached to it. Did anybody else have any solutions here?
We can give you lots of sand dollars.
Yeah? How many?
I can give you 2 more.
You see him ponder whether his life is worth $2 sand dollars. He's like, I could book a room,
Yeah, why don't you
There
do
you go.
an
that?
hourly room at one of those
Yeah.
hotels.
The inns, if it is.
Yes.
Yep. And yeah, for a couple of those, and how about I find you at the Siren's Call.
The Siren's Call, okay. Which part of the city is that in?
It's in the Red Shell District.
Alright, and I mean, we can't stay here too long, right, guys? Because, you know.
How long has it been?
Yeah, 'cause we got
It's
to-
been, I'm gonna say, like 20 minutes.
Okay, so we're like 20 minutes since the beginning of us coming into this realm period, or just 20 minutes since.
20 minutes since you got into the city.
Okay, so we're probably at least
40 minutes.
40 minutes into our respective spells. Because we were at 10 minutes at the top of tonight's game. So. Okay.
My spell's about to drop off.
Yeah, mine too, because there's 10, like, we'd have 20 minutes left in those spells, so.
No.
Temple's like 5 minutes away.
Okay, alright. So,
You want to swim?
is it faster to swim?
I mean, you ever been to those things that... Fuck, there's no fucking term for this.
A sand slide?
No. There are ravines of water that go along the walking paths that are for so you can move faster from one end, like the airport side.
Oh,
paths.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those kinds of things. And they have like a current to them, so if you plop in and start swimming, you move a lot faster.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you want to swim, we can get there faster, but if you aren't really good at swimming, you might as well just swim.
I mean, I'm good to swim, but I don't want you to, like... we can just
I don't
walk.
think I can go 5 minutes underwater.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's just
Yeah.
walk.
Okay, let's walk. As you guys all walk outside, 5 minutes later, you make your way to this what looks like this coral palace. This large. It's not like Disney World Palace. It's more like this coral cathedral that comes up, and rather than the steeples and the architecture of the Gothic type of details, looks like it's grown in there rather than carved out of there. Almost like the coral was programmed through magic to grow in a certain way, and has created this type of cathedral that's kind of built into the rocky architecture of the dome itself. Because it looks like the permeable membrane of the domes that kind of like spread out, because you actually had to pass through into a different dome on your way to this place, have like these coral fingers that kind of intertwine like vines and roots over the top of it, and then the space between them is filled by this like permeable gel-like jellyfish membrane that doesn't allow water to pass through, but allows like physical, full people to pass through. So you pass into another dome, you walk to this thing, you see this cathedral-like coral. there is a large giant clam attached to the top of the double doorway of this cathedral that is what looks like a dead one that has been like stuffed and has one of those oxygen plants in it, and it acts like those aquarium things where it opens up bloop, 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 and it lets out a bubble bloop, 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 every once in a while. Yeah, and you are there, and every time the bubble reaches a certain point at the cathedral, it pops, and the sprinkles alight, like the little sprays of bubble spray, alight a sign that says, like, welcome to the temple of the Salty Mistress. It's very, like, Las Vegas underwater sea style. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the Siren's Call. I'll see you there in 2 hours-ish? Something like that?
Yeah.
Great. Be careful. Don't die. Don't ask about the sleepy people. They're totally fine. They're receiving your gift. Everything's fine.
Okay.
You got it. Bye.
Have fun.
See ya.
And he leaves. You guys go into the temple.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys open the doors, and inside, what looks like there's a globe. There's a room inside. It opens up a little wider because it's kind of built halfway into like the rocky architecture of the wall, and it opens up to create kind of a chamber that is spherical in nature. And in the center of the chamber, kind of suspended, probably by magic, is a small waterfall that falls into a sphere of water. That doesn't make any sense that it would be there. It's like contained. It does not in like a glass globe or anything. It's just a sphere of water, and then it trickles a small waterfall out of it into a fountain that's in the bottom, and it kind of hangs up like 10, 15 feet in the air. And it looks like there are people in robes, like nice flowing robes, and like what looks like sea spawn as well, and other fishes and some manta rays swimming throughout and around in the sphere. And it looks like they're like every once in a while they stop and they like pray upside down and they move around in this sphere. And you see some other people here. There's small little waterfalls that trickle along the outside that kind of spray a little bit of water as people like kneel down in them and lift up this kind of this like trough of this canal or this moat that kind of runs along the position between the wall and the walkway, and they lift it up and they just splash water in their face. And they splash water in their face. Very like Olay, regenerative, commercial style, you know. And you are at the temple.
Does anybody like notice us walk in, or?
It appears that most of the people here are busy with their own absolutions. They're doing their own thing. They're doing their prayers. What it does look like someone with the very official robes, or like a lot of hanging robes that are almost as large. What looks like a very old like whale shark type person who's kind of like large and wide is kind of like moving back and forth in the sphere that has robes that go down so low that they actually get caught in the bottom of the waterfall that exits these spheres. So it actually, the robes themselves, like the tapered off parts, are longer than the sphere itself. So they actually kind of stick outside the sphere and get caught in the waterfall a little bit. And they appear to like what looks like conducting some sort of ceremony between two individuals. What it looks like, one of them appears to be not conscious, and the other one appears to be like pulling off barnacles from their body and attaching them to the other one.
Cold shit going on, right?
Yeah, is there anything...
Is that other one sleeping?
Like I said, the other one's not conscious.
Oh, okay.
Does the other one have any of the same kind of symptoms or outward appearances like what we've experienced and seen with the plants above ground? Like looking...
like the sakura blossoms?
Yeah.
I would say the things that you're seeing that are similar between the Sakura Blossoms and this is that they both appear to be some sort of exterior force or exterior organism that appears to be taking over bodies, or at least in establishing themselves under their host. Whether it be the barnacles or the Sakura Blossoms, but they do appear to be, from what you've noticed from previous times of trying to analyze this, that they appear to be two different entities entirely, or two different types of infection, or two different types of organisms, or viruses, or who knows. What do you guys do?
I mean, I guess we should. I don't want to interrupt that person because they seem busy, you know, right? But can we? Is there any signage anywhere? Like.
There is signage. It looks to be in Aquan, which I don't think any of you speak.
No, I've got primordial, but I would imagine it's like reading.
Primordial is like a dialect of Aquan, but it's so far removed at that point that it's
Like I get I could speaking Spanish. I kind of could somewhat
understand
surmise
Latin.
Portuguese or Latin. Yeah.
So it's more like you recognize one of the characters, but it doesn't. But it's not quite right. So you aren't really able to get the context of what the word is.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast. You're gonna lose your.
Okay. Cat's grace.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Okay.
See if there's anything going on with that.
Looking around, you don't see anything magical. What you do see is what looks like some sort of abjurative ward that is causing some abjurative / transmutative ward that's causing the sphere to be able to be suspended in the way and kept in a containment. Some sort of like invisible membrane that's kind of keeping that suspended up in the world and keeping it as a sphere. That's allowing some to come in and some to stream out. But that's about it. It doesn't look like anybody is wearing any magical items. Doesn't look like there are other magical things about other than just like the innate magics of the thick air around you.
Is there anybody else that is around that we could ask that's not in the middle of a ceremony?
You see what looks like a Akuatoa individual that is like kneeling down and splashing water into their face. That's rather near you, and they take a moment to break, and they just kind of like stand there and go. Kind of gasping with their gills open.
Okay.
Looks like they're a little lost in thought.
Should we ask that person to scoop?
Since he's moving with his mouth, is he mumbling?
No, it looks like he's just gasping, like he's breathing.
Okay.
He's breathing the thick air.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's not. He can, like, creatures that can only breathe water can breathe here. It's just difficult. Like, in the air, it's just difficult.
Should we ask him if he knows anything, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. You guys walk up. Who's starting the conversation?
I assume
I guess we just.
you do, cause right?
Well,
Could ask him if he knows other languages.
do you want to sit next down to him, not scare him?
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you're doing it?
yeah. Let's start.
You, in the way you look, sit down next to them. They go. It looks like they pull out a shell from their pocket, and they pull out your hand, and they put it in there, and they give you alms.
And I just nod and
At a
look as
penny.
pitiful as I possibly can, and just accept it. I will later try to just slip it back into their purse though, because I feel like
Okay. You have their attention though, and they nod to you, and they're like, okay, let's pray together, kind of deal.
So Machine will reluctantly like put her hands together in a prayerful way or gesture that like trying to mimic whatever this
It looks like
this
people
person
like
is doing.
are praying
for-
with like their hands cupped as if
Yeah.
they're holding water,
So she's
and they
like,
like pick up water and they hold it, and that's how they, and then let the water like slowly drip out, and then they pick up water again, and
Okay,
they let
so
it slowly drip out.
She does that and
Yeah.
just kind of goes along.
And then
with
every
it.
once in a while, like splash it in their face. And then they pick it up again.
Okay. So she'll do that a little bit, and then she'll give a nod and then splash it on her face, and then thank you. She'll say in common.
What? Right? Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so they
He
understand.
understands comedy, yeah.
Okay. Hey, great. You don't have to translate a scoop.
Oh, this is painful.
What did I say?
Painful.
What's the other one? Glob glue?
Blub,
Blub
blub grub.
Blub glub.
Blub glub.
Blub glub.
Blub
Blub
grub.
glub spoke common too.
Blub glub.
Okay.
Blub glub.
Okay, okay.
He spoke common too.
I don't think he did.
You said
He
he
just
only.
he spoke whenever he did this. That's why he was doing it to Machete, but whenever he spoke normally, he would just speak normally. Like whenever he spoke in his tongue.
It's been a long time, I don't remember.
Okay.
It's been 2 months. Who knows?
So then. Thank you. Where can we find more information about?
What are you looking for, child?
Just.
Pitiful child.
I want to understand more about, and I'm trying to be, again, playing into the character as much as I can with how pitiful she looks. I want to understand where I can find more information about her gift.
You seek the gift of the salty mystery. We have an opening at 4 o'clock if you'd like to try to see if I can pencil you in.
What does it do exactly?
You become one of the salty mistress and you receive her gift. We all aspire to receive her gift.
But what does that mean for somebody?
It means that your problems go away because they are replaced with solutions.
Can you give me an example of what that happened for one of the cases like me?
You're ugly. It will make you not so ugly. You look like you have several broken bones. No problem. Nothing that the salty mistress can help you with her blessing.
I see. So it changes for everybody?
Most of the time,
And what do people act like when they're done with it? Once they've been touched, once they've been blessed.
they see the light that is the salty mistress, and they dedicate their lives to serving the one that brought them low from such horrible circumstances.
Okay. So she's. What about I saw some really interesting statues. They were a little scary, but I don't know if they had like 6 legs. And would she protect me from those things, or is it something else?
You seek of the idols that protect the soul.
Well, they're protectors.
Yes, of course.
What do they protect you from?
They protect us from the terrors of the dry people.
The terrors of the dry people. Okay, what, like,
The ones that destroyed a world that was perfection many eons ago. But we found solace and protection and guardianship under these wonderful leaves.
how's your head?
How?
We can just theater of the mind if you want to just talk
Absolutely,
regularly.
absolutely not. The show must go on.
Protectors from the dry people. Okay. Eons ago. Are they still around?
But right people?
Yeah.
Probably.
Were these idols made?
By the something business.
Are you
Or
one?
it's commissioned, but I don't know.
What does the salty
This the idols are steeped in mystery.
What does the salty mistress look like?
She is a wondrous entity of tentacles and beautiful eyes.
Of tentacles and beautiful what? Sorry.
Eyes.
Eyes?
Well,
TJ, what did you just say the word?
yeah, you got it.
Eyes.
Okay.
Eyes? Okay.
Never.
He'll understand you.
I was thinking, Kuoto, are you one of the heads here?
You do.
Exercising.
Getting some tricep.
I am not one of the heads here. No, not at all. I'm just an acolyte here.
Do you know who might be one of the heads?
Oh,
That
well.
isn't busy, I should say.
Oh, well, we're always busy with the grace of the brackish mistress. But you mean someone that would be able to pray with you?
I mean, well, aren't you kind of doing that?
Yes.
I mean, speak in a more, with a with a little bit more information. I'm not saying you don't have enough information. I just,
You want to know more. I understand. We only ever know as much as the mistress deems us worthy of knowing. You would most likely want to speak with the salt marsh here, or the salt marshal. But again, they are busy bestowing gift. As you can see, this is a rare occurrence for commoners such as ourselves to be witnessing this in person. Bestowing the gift of the Sunken Queen herself.
You know how she made those idols?
They are steeped in mystery.
Does she?
But what is certain is that they were created to help protect us. And they always have. We haven't had a lander invasion since they made her.
Does she have tentacles just on her face here? And I gesticulate like a beard, like a long beard and big eyes
Does
like
she
this.
have a beard tentacles?
No. I'm just saying so that people understand what I'm doing
Sure,
with my
sure.
hands.
Yeah.
So it looks like basically,
Well,
yeah.
It looks like you're making a beard with your fingers.
Yeah. Is that what her tentacles? Like, is
No.
that what her tentacles
No,
are like?
she's beautiful. She doesn't have a beard.
I mean, that would be beautiful, right? To the right person. I don't know. It's
Listen, Kimberly. We have a very specific view of beauty here down here, and that's not it.
that's fair. That's fine.
Everybody's beautiful, man.
He just gestures to Machete.
everyone's beautiful.
So beautiful. I tighten one of my kelp. Like just
Tighten one of your kelp.
Perhaps you would wish to do your own research?
is there somewhere to read or learn some more about?
Would like to visit the Brackish Archives. You're welcome to peruse them at your leisure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
Give yourself a concussion.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm trying to wrap up this conversation.
Wonderful.
So tell me about you.
Or look, long walks on the beach. Wet pizza.
Wet pizza. Moist pizza?
You know what bread is down here? You got bread down here?
Thank you again. And what is your name?
Therefore, I will give you another long name.
Fish
It's a
sticks.
cult for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Reeks of cult. Well, child, thank you. And turn away. We'll try to, again, like I said, sleight of hand, put the sand dollar back into.
Okay, do a sleight of hand check.
I know I don't have the thing.
Shell.
The
There's a shell.
it was a shell? I thought it was a sand
No, it was-
dollar.
No, he handed you a shell.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait. We don't have the plant anymore, do we?
Yeah,
Okay.
we would have
He
to,
saw
yeah.
it.
I'll speak to the plant and say relay this message to Machete. We gotta go. Kind of running out of time for my magic. My disguise self.
You sound like Stephen Hawking.
Oh my god. Jeez. Jesus, Andrew.
Kind of.
What is?
Oh, he needs poop? You need poop?
No. I don't think time
That
is
sounds like poop.
time isn't. I can't tell you.
Right.
I can't talk to you. All right. I give you a nod. At this point, though, still have what, like half an hour left on your disguised self.
I thought it was a half an hour.
Well, because probably at the.
Took you like 10 minutes to get to the city. Took you like 5 minutes to get to the bar. Spent like 10 minutes.
We were
there.
saying we put the disguise stuff on when we get to the city. It would make sense.
Sure, yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you've got another 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had 20 minutes left in the other
Best way to try.
spells before.
And he like
so-
ushers you to like a lower section of the
From
coral where the
finance.
archives might be.
Okay.
And it seems a little bit more closed off.
Okay, well, I'll go. I am going to try to use, for what it's worth, the researcher ability that I have.
What'd you get on your sleight of hand?
22.
Okay.
Yeah. Just,
You got research ability?
Yeah, because it's from my background,
Uh-huh,
I'm a researcher. So trying to understand any magic.
Great. Yeah.
and
So here's the deal. You guys go down a ramp, kind of like a
doesn't
moist
sound good,
ramp,
so what-
coral ramp, down into like a couple ways, via a couple landings, and you end up in what looks like some sort of archives. What looks like, so there aren't books here. He nods and he goes back up. You kind of look around. It's kind of a smaller room. I'd say it's no more than like 30 feet by 30 feet down here. Looking around, as far as you can tell, you're the only people down here.
Magic.
Detect magic. There do be a couple things of magic. From what you can tell, is minor observative to make sure things don't decay, like as far as records and stuff. And these records are what looks like are cuneiform. So they're like cylinders with carvings on them. They look like coral cylinders with carvings on them, and you read them by rolling them onto like clay or some type of like material that is amorphous. So like maybe like a seaweed paste or a kelp paste or a clay or something like that. Is then when you can like read it out. And they're all like cuneiforms, like cylindrical. What do you call it? Prisms. And yeah, they're all like stacked up, like in that kind of like trellis way, like almost like wine racks. That they do that diagonal thing, like the Library of Alexandria. They're kind of all put up like that. And you're going to use your researcher ability. And what specifically is it that you're looking for?
any mention of I mean, because it's more about magic or scientific fact for that, so it's more trying to understand if there's any magic, especially related to those statues. What is the history? Why are they considered protective statues, etc.? Is there anything that we can basically understand why and what those things are?
Cool. Yeah. Are you guys all helping her with this?
Yeah, or maybe like what they're made out of,
Okay.
or
Cool.
how they were made. Is
Cool.
more-
So here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
You guys are all. This is kind of like a group effort. Hert's here too. Hert's just been like, the entire time. Hert's been like, trying not to laugh at this guy shaking his head and talking. Doing her best. She's like, she see like tears coming out of her eyes, trying to stop laughing. She finally, when she gets down here, like bends over and just like, and is just wheezing laughing. Which is why she didn't really say anything during that whole time. And then she's like, all right, I'm not really good at this thing. I can't read, so but I can carry stuff if you want me to bring stuff from one place to another.
All right.
Great. So everybody who can read, roll an investigation check.
Okay.
As you kind of start perusing this, most of the stuff is written in Aquan, and it's very difficult to surmise. However, depending on what you roll, you might find something else. Okay, let's go from this way around.
21.
21,
12.
12.
14.
I'm walking over to her. Smacking. Slapping.
What?
I got a 3.
You got a 3?
2 and a 1.
So you go up to one of the things and you grab it and you fumble it and you shatters on the floor. And you look at her and just like, ha ha.
Haha, I got mending.
Whatever. I thought it was funny. Do it again. Good. It means you can keep doing that? Do it again.
Oh no. No.
Okay. So here's this is what happens. Machete can read primordial, correct?
Yes.
So you are looking around. Nakano and Tamrin help you the best they can, trying to like you saying like, look for this character, look for this character, and you guys are kind of looking around, and you're just kind of like ushering, or Machete's just kind of like ushering you around, giving you commands as to like what it is that you need to look for. Eventually, Nakano or Machete, you come across a couple things in Aqua that you can't quite read. You do come across a very, very, very old cuneiform that looks to be made of not coral, but out of stone. And it is highly degraded, highly degraded. But it is in primordial.
Interesting. Okay. I will read it. It's in.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of it missing from there. You aren't able to do it because of how degraded and worn it is. A bunch of the previously like carved in characters on the cylinder have just wasted away because it's just been so worn down where it's no longer like a cylinder. It's got like gouges in it and like all these other kind of things in it. So there's quite a bit of information missing. But you can bring it over to one of the tables that what looks like has like a container of wet clay that is for library use.
Yeah. Okay.
You like put the clay out and you roll the thing on there, and there's a lot of information missing. There's huge gaps of missing information, but you roll it out. It's quite a large stone too. It is you guys, all three of you need to help her move it because it's like the size of a millstone. It is huge, and so you guys help her bring it out and then plop it on the table and roll it across the table on the clay. And the information that you're able to grasp from this is it tells a little bit about the history of the Sunken Queen. It tells a little bit about the history of that the Sunken Queen once made a deal to save her people, and the deal involved the deal to save her people was to make it so that her people didn't die in a watery grave. And the deal allowed her people to be able to, instead of drown, live in the environment that was going to cause their death. And then there's a huge swath of information, and then it skips a lot. And then it kind of like goes in media res, comes back in of some sort of, I don't want to say cataclysm, some sort of like intense event where what once was the grave of some great creature from who knows, from beyond, from the before time, a city was lifted from the grave and placed upon the pillars of the broker.
Broker? Okay.
Or at least, and the way it turns it, like it's not done by a proper noun. It seems to be referring to the creature or the entity or the thing that the Sunken Queen made a deal with to save her people. So like the pillars of this entity that made a deal with the Sunken Queen. This city was raised up from the grave of some great, the grave of another, some who knows what, from like a long before time. And it also mentions that these pillars are their body. These pillars are their soul. These pillars are like the Eucharist is the body of Christ kind of deal.
Oh, okay. And the pillars are the broker's
pillars are
body.
like the broker's body, that kind of thing. Granted, it's not a proper noun. It's just a reference to what it was before.
Okay.
It also mentions that the deal maker, was retreated back to whence they came because they couldn't remain here. But that it remains a part of every seafarer's life behind a guise of deificness, or some sort of deificness. That's like the long short. That's making a very, very, very long story short.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So there's someone higher than the mistress.
Yeah. Or at least you know there's at least a person in between. And based on the text itself, can we guess like how long ago this event happened, or make it in?
Like based on like the age of this like cuneiform millstone.
Should be able to do that.
You should be able to do that as the archaeologist. You get the sense that this is tens of thousands, if not older. This appears to, at the moment, doesn't quite predate the well walls. It seems to be after the well walls, but I would say around. Ooh, let me check my notes real quick. Let me check these notes. This looks to be, if you had to pinpoint, this looks like, as far as all of your information when it comes to the ancient elven architecture and the ancient war and that great war, this looks to be in the ides of, if not near the end of that war, as to when this was made. And it pinpoints a point as you look at this stone. And there's only one place on the continent of CrestVahllen that this stone could come from, because of like where it comes from, and where it makes, because it's like some sort of like mixture of lime and this other stone. And you pull out your map real quick and you roll it down and you move your finger across it and you're like and you're like trying to figure out, okay, no, this type of stone, it has this type of regolith and all this other thing, and you're like, your fingers start to meet. And as you get closer and closer to the west coast of CrestVahllen, they start to move up from the Shalian Cradle and down from Asarn Le, and before they meet, and you find them meeting near this portion of the east coast that's obliterated. It's become this swamp-like landscape, and there are what looks like some sort of image there of ruins. And the only word that it says there is Yask.
What was it?
Yask. Y-A-S. And you look at your world map and you just see that's the only thing that's there. There's nothing else there. It's just right near the Silsis Marshes, right east of the Silsis Marshes, there's these ruins. And they just say Yask. And you're like, that's probably where this stone came from.
So it came from that plane of existence, from our plane of existence.
Yeah. From what you can tell, this is not native to this plane. I think that's where we're going to end it for this time, too. I think it's a good place to stop it as you guys figure out a bunch of exposition information about what's happened, what these pillars mean, what the Sunken Queen means, where this might be from. You can begin to draw your own conclusions. Thanks everybody for tuning in and all that jazz.
Just looking at the map.
Looking at the map, yeah, great. We'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye.
See y'all.